for his dedication to the advancement of the university through exceptional service, commitment, and contributions. John Hunkin is being honored tonight with the Outstanding Contribution Award.
I think that your chance to be involved and watch how things can grow and develop, and sometimes in a very extraordinary way, is a great reward for the time you put in. York's a different place than any other university in Canada. It's at the top of, in the development area of the largest city in Canada, the most diverse city in Canada. And it is a university that is very much part of the ongoing development of the Canadian story because it's so much an immigrant university. And like my own parents who are immigrants, that is what is going to drive this country forward. And York's role in that, I think, is a very important one, and one that we all should be interested in. The fact that I went here makes a big difference because I was always curious about what is going on at York. But it was really when Dean Horvath got me involved at what is now the Schulich School that brought me back to campus and got me re-engaged with York.
John Hunkin has played and continues to play a significant role in shaping the modern face of York University. One of only a few to ever serve on the university's Board of Governors, the Schulich School of Business Dean's Advisory Council, and the York University Foundation Board, his decades-long commitment to York is nothing short of remarkable, and the university has benefited greatly from his advice over the past 20-plus years. In addition to his contributions at York, John, a former chairman, president, and CEO at CIBC, is also actively involved in several other community organizations, including the St. Michael's Hospital Foundation and the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. Along with his wife, Susan Crocker, John has also contributed generously to student aid, the Faculty of Fine Arts, and the Schulich School of Business, demonstrating his determination to advance York and its students.
Well, I think in my roles here at York, the one that I spent a lot of time at and got very involved in, of course, was being the chair of the Dean's Advisory Council of the Schulich School. That undoubtedly was a very rewarding experience. I had the privilege of watching how the Schulich School became really a global force, and that was pretty exciting. And at the same time, being on the Board of Governors of York, I had the chance to watch the university grow in general. The really thing that was impressive, I think, at the time about York was the quality of the people that York had brought to the school. You know, starting with the president, Murray Ross, who was an outstanding individual, and to have Jim Gillies, who they recruited from UCLA, who was outstanding also. You could just tell that the faculty had a great desire to create a strong reputation right from the get-go. The excitement now, I think this place is on the verge of, another great growth spurt. Well, when I look and see, some of the previous recipients of this award, and I just think about all the people that I know have worked hard and contributed to what goes on at York, I consider it a real privilege. It's good to be here. It's good to have spent the time I have spent, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great try that again. You wouldn't think I was a CBC broadcaster now, would you? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the recipient of the 2012 Bryden Alumni Outstanding Contribution Award, John Hunkin.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I have to tell you, when I got the phone call about this award, and actually they ask you whether you want to accept it. I found that a bit of a no-brainer myself. And then I went and checked the website to see the previous recipients, and I thought maybe they had made a mistake, but I decided not to phone them back to check. You know, when something like this happens to you, you ask yourself, well, how did it happen? And I thought about that. And three of the reasons it happened are sitting at my table tonight. In 1967, I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree and decided that I wasn't prepared for the working world and I should get an MBA. So I started looking around for schools. And I saw that York had started a new program, and it was being run by this gentleman called Dr. James Gillies. And as I found out later, he had brought together some very good people. But what was amazing about it was already this school had hardly turned out a graduate, and it was ranked at not worse than second in Canada. Now, that's a pretty amazing feat. So I applied to the school because I thought it was starting up and I might have a chance to get in. I followed up by a phone call to the school, got Jim Gillies. He actually answered the phone. I said I wanted to come to the school. He said, "Where are you? We'll send you a car." I credit that very conversation with my success in life. Well, I graduated from York in 1969, and a couple of years later, Jim Gillies moved on to Ottawa and the world of politics. And it was really a lapse of 21 years before I really got re-engaged with York. And that was when Dean Horvath asked me. By the way, I joined Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, and I spent that intervening time there. And Dean Horvath asked me if I would join the Dean's Advisory Board. And that was, I guess, around 21 years ago that all happened. And for the last 12, I've been chair of the Advisory Board. Now, I've got to tell you, and you know the remarkable achievements that have happened at what is now the Schulich School of Business under the leadership of Dean Horvath. And I have to tell you that actually being the chair of the advisory board is not difficult at all. We meet twice a year. We have a terrific board. And it's called the advisory board. But the reality of it is that every meeting, and I say I've been there for a few years, Dean Horvath comes to the meeting with a full agenda, with so much good news, and God, it's great to be in a place where it just seems to be nothing but good news. And usually, the agenda is so full, there is no time to have any advisory go on. And the message in that is, be successful, and then no one will question you. So, that got me back in with Dean Horvath. I did spend time on the board from about 94 to 2004. And then about a little over a year ago, I had a chance to meet with Dr. Mamdouh Shukra, and he asked me if I would consider coming back on the board. And I agreed to that. And I have to tell you, if you see the picture on the brochure that there is here tonight, there's a picture of each of us who are recipients. And that picture of me, believe it or not, I know I look much younger, but that was taken about last April. And I've now served through 2 board meetings, and now I look like this. So there you go. So, and it has nothing to do with the chair, believe me. She's great. But let me tell you what I think about Dr. Shukri. I think he's the real deal. He came to this country to further his education. So he was a foreign student in Canada. He knows what that's about. And last week, I heard him speak at the Empire Club of Canada, and he talked about post-secondary education, universities in particular, and York, of course, specifically. And what he told us showed that he really recognized the challenges that we have ahead, but he also recognized the opportunities, and particularly the opportunities to go global. And that resonated with me tremendously because, as I say, I've lived through the last 21 years when the whole theme of the Schulich Business School was to go global. And it's been a great success, as we all know, as being ranked as one of the top schools in the world. I think Dr. Schulich has the experience, he has the intelligence, and he's had previous successes that is going to let him deal with the challenges, take advantage of the opportunities, and take York forward and to a very successful future. What I've learned in thinking about why I got this award and how I got involved with York is that at the end of the day, it's all about leadership. And I had the good fortune to meet these three leaders involved at York, and I got the opportunity to get involved myself and really have quite a great time over these many years. So I thank them. I thank all of you for coming here tonight to honor all the honorees. Many thanks.